I nearly got ripped off by Firestone. They wanted $3,400. So how this went down is I had a power steering leak on this car, my Nissan Altima 3.5 SE. Let's go, baby. Hey, there's an SRT8 right there. Nice, not even bad. And so what happened was, it was sweating, the rack and pinion, but when I went to Firestone, I didn't tell them where the leak was because I knew it was coming from a hose, because I took it to a small shop and they said, yeah, there's a hose and you need a new rack and pinion. So I went to Firestone, you know, they go into the car, my left boot is cramped, they want to replace that. My right CV axle, that boot is busted, so it's gone. That needs to get replaced. The rack and pinion was fine, but they wanted to replace it anyways. And they wanted to give me a new oil pump. So what happened was, I'd be going down to my commute to UM. It was about 29 miles going there, 29 miles coming back. By the time I got home, I had to refill my power steering reservoir. My dad takes my car, he goes down to Sears, like 10 miles down from my house. He takes it to them, he does the same thing. He doesn't tell them what he thinks is leaking. All that he says is that, hey, I have a power steering issue. My power steering is leaking. I don't know where it's coming from. Can you hit me up? You know, can you hook me up with the inspection? And they inspect it, and they said the hydraulic hose is leaking, and your right CV axle boot is busted. So that is confirmed. But this is what he did. He went up to them and he said, "Is that it? Are you sure?" He said, "So the rack and pinion is fine, and everything else." He's like, "Oh yeah. The rack, because he basically said, I see like some fluid on the rack and pinion. Is that okay?" He's like, "Yeah, that's fine. It's just sweating. That's what they do, you know, and whatnot." And he said, and he also pointed out the other boot. He's like, "Is the other part?" He said, "Is the other CV axle fine too?" And you know, he's just playing dumb with it. And they said, "Yeah, it's fine too. It's just cramped up, but it needs to be pulled out. It's not broken." So Sears quotes me like $700, $800 for repair. And boom, man, like, you guys have to be careful. This is like moral of the story. You have to be careful about some of these mechanics, man. Like, some of them just want to rip you off big time. And it's these big name brand people, like, some of them just want your money. Firestone wanted to trip me out with $3,400 worth in repairs, and repairs I didn't even need, you know? But Sears, you know, I go to different mechanics, you get different opinions. That's how you should go about getting car repairs. You need to get different opinions. You can't just let one person tell you this or that, because, you know, they might be trying to get an extra dollar out of you. The same thing is happening with my motorcycle right now. Rick K's Honda Powerhouse wants like nearly $2,000 in labor fees just so they can swap out my head gasket. But I hit up a different company, the dock. I hit them up and they said, "Oh yeah, I can inspect the engine and I can replace that head gasket for like $250. And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to sit here and figure out, like, what is with these big name companies that want like hella labor fees. So that's my 2 cents. Yes, that was my boy Corey. But yeah, like I said, be careful about who you go to for repairs and whatnot. Don't let these big companies scam you over. And, you know, just do the best you can. But that's it, my short little story anecdote. My power steering is fixed now. Thank you, Sears. Thank you, Firestone, for nearly ripping me off. You know, have a good day and whatnot. Bye.